welcome to Hadoop Exam Learning Resources. In this session, we are going to cover the Apache Avro. That is the file format which is being used with the Hadoop framework for the serialization and deserialization and storing. We'll discuss in depth about this and why this topic is important here, because the cloud era has new certification which is based hands-on certification. So CCA 175 ask about the questions related like scenarios related to Avro files. So you need to understand in depth how the Avro file works and what exactly is the Avro file. So there are various questions would be asked on the Avro files. So that would be more on hands-on. So in this session we will cover the understanding of the Avro files, how it works and why it is important. So you can also download this PDF under the description section from the video. Later on you can use it for your revision. HadoopExam.com is provides various big data related resources, and we are in the process of CCA 175 certification preparation material creation. So keep visiting HadoopExam.com. Soon it would be available on HadoopExam.com. So let me just go through first Avro file introduction, and then we'll discuss more on this. Okay. So what exactly is the Avro file? Use of the Avro files are for the data serialization and data actions, that is remote procedure call, which is used mainly used in the Hadoop framework. RPC is being used. Okay, before that let me just give you the brief understanding how to understand the Avro file. So let me give you, so everybody knows the RDBMS system, correct? Our MySQL, Oracle, or RDBMS systems like Oracle, correct, or MySQL. So everybody understands. So that's the reason I'm taking this. So whenever you create a table in the database, okay, so this table has a column name. Like this is, suppose this is an employee table. So name, ID, salary, and manager ID, something, MID. So this would be the column name of the table, correct? So this column name and its data type is called a schema. Okay, like it's a part of the schema. Schema is a big definition, but let's see, this is the schema. And the data which is stored here, like name, something you can give anything like Amit, Lukesh, Rakesh, or something, and employee ID 1, 2, 3. This is the column value. Right. So similarly, in the Avro file has schema plus data, and at the storage level, this both stored together. Schema as well as the data, both are stored together. So that is the where, and the data is in the binary format and as schema is in the JSON format. So you got it, correct? Similarly, we would have in the file format this. What is the advantage here? Like, so whenever if you wish to create a new database or something, so you need to store the data in file format, correct? And you can store the schema somewhere else or some other location, like some other format. But in the Avro file, the schema and the data stored together. That is the difference. So and the data is in the binary format, so this is quite compact. Suppose your actual file is 100 MB, and when you convert into the Avro file, it could be in the 10 MB. That depends. Again, I'm just giving hypothetical example, so which reduce the size of your file while storing on the disk. So that is the reason it is very important. So this is more compact, more efficient, and many other reasons we will discuss on this actually. So you got it, correct? So whenever the Avro files comes in your mind, remember there is always schema attached with this with the data. So what is the data format, what is the data type in the file? Every information is stored with this in the schema. and then this schema is in the JSON format. So let me go through this. So use of Avro file is for data serialization. Data serialization means just storing data or in the disk and reading it back from the disk, and data actions like transferring messages from one system to another system. So we will be more discuss on the data serialization rather than data actions. So this is like just exchanging the information between the system. This is also part of the serialization. So let's go to the Avro files are language neutral. What does that mean actually? Language neutral means, suppose you have been writing, this is your Hadoop framework, the Hadoop cluster, okay, and the language you are using in the Hadoop framework is the Java language. So you write the data, okay, you create the Avro file using the Hadoop framework Java, using the Java language, and you write it in the disk on the somewhere in the HDFS file system. You store it. So now you have serialized this file. So like this process is called serialization. So this Avro file would be created, and when you want to read it back, it is possible you can read this data using the C++ language. So that is what language neutrality means here. So whenever if you are using the enter language, like right, you created a this schema and data using the Java, and you're reading it using the C++. So these are various interlanguage you can read and write. So this process called deserialization, and this process called serialization. When you write, that is the serialization, and when you read it, this is called deserialization. So Avro serialization program can efficiently serialize data into files. Okay, so suppose my data content, I am learning Hadoop, Apache Avro and Apache Hive. This is my content, that is the file size, let's assume is 100 MB. When you apply the Avro serialization on this file, what exactly it does is actually it creates a binary file out of this, okay, and store it over here. And as well as there is a schema would be attached here with the file. Okay, so let's assume, or you can create the message out of this, like when we do the data actions, so you can create the message out of this. And or this, if you want to store the files, you can store it. So you can see here like 100 MB files is converted into 10 MB files. That is a hypothetical situation where the size could be different based on the data and many other things. I'm just giving an example. So your file is more compact, more efficient, so that over the network you can transfer it, so it saves your bandwidth. Correct. Now let's move to the next. So data storage is compact and efficient. The data is always converted into the binary format. Correct. This was a text format. When it is stored, it is converted into the binary format. It is stored as a binary format. Avro stores both the data definition and the data together in one message or in a one file, like this way. You can say this is my actual content, and its schema is attached with this file in the JSON format, would be as a part of metadata. Similarly, in the message, this is the content and this is the schema can be stored. So this is the message payload, actual content of the message. Okay, Avro stores data and its definitions together, which helps program to understand the information stored in an Avro file or message. That's just same thing which we have discussed. So data definition is called schema, that is in the JSON. So in the table, if you think RDBMS table, employee table, so employee name, its data type varchar2, and employee ID, its data type is a number. This kind of information is stored in the data definition, that is the schema. So similarly for Avro file, this schema is. So in next module we will discuss in depth about the schema of the how it is defined, how it can be created. So here first we try to understand the Avro file, and in the next module, if you are watching on the YouTube, then go for the hadoopexam.com to watch the next module of this Apache Avro. So we'll be creating 4 and 5 modules, and we'll be having the hands-on session as well on the Avro file as a part of our Hadoop professional training. So next is the data. Data is binary compact format data. Avro files include the markers that can be used to splitting the large dataset into subset of HDFS blocks. So you know, like data stored in the blocks in HDFS file system, Hadoop file system. So we need to split the file. Right, so we need the marker like where my block has been splitted. So this kind of markers is supported in the Avro files. Okay, so when 64 MB or 120 MB is my block size, if my file is of 1 GB, then it has to be divided into the some blocks, correct? 128 MB is the block size, so I can divide into the 10 blocks or something. Then that each block should, then data should have the marker, which make it suitable for the MapReduce processing, because MapReduce works on the each block at a time, like in parallelly, but each MapReduce program work on the one block at a time. Sorry, in parallel means it works in the parallel. Okay, so block is created out, should be able to create the block from the this data Avro file. So Avro file is good for this. So schema evaluation, that is very important thing, and this is the CCA 175 exam specifically focus on this concept as well. They ask the scenario on the schema evaluation. So schema evaluation is just amazing. This is our employee table, correct? Manager ID. I also want to modify the schema of this table, and I want to add one more column to this table. Just a minute, okay? Manager name, I want to add it. Now when you alter the table, this column value would be for this employee initially would be what? Null, correct? And I want to delete this column, manager ID. I don't want manager ID here, I want manager name. So I want to change the schema. I apply the alter table command, which drop the column name is manager ID and add column manager name. So that is my schema change. So that is similarly same thing is possible in the Avro file. You can change the schema which is already created. You can add new column or new data points in the existing schema, or you can remove the existing data point from the schema. So that is same thing is possible in the Avro schema file. So what I suggest, like when in the next section we actually take the example, we remove the one of the column, one of the data point, and we will add the new data point, so we can see this. So similarly same thing is possible in the schema in the Avro file. Okay, so it's a key feature of Avro. In this case, schema can change over the time. So like once you have created one table and you want to change it, modify it, I should be able to do this. So similarly in the Avro file this features is available. So Avro file is a more compact, more efficient compared to the, like, because we want to store the data as in a file format. We don't want to store in the database. That's the reason we are using the Avro file instead of the database, because it can support a huge file and it can be stored in the HDFS file system. So that's the reason we do have the Avro file instead of database, plain database. So we can avoid the database limitations of the size. So adding a field is a possible, removing a field is possible. So that is called the schema evaluation. That is very important topic that is being asked in the Cloudera certification CCA 175. So JSON schema, this can change over the time. That part, data may not change. You just change the schema and data may not change, correct? So your table still has the manager ID has been removed, so that column is removed, but data still there in the file. I've just changed the definition. But in the RDBMS it is not possible, correct? When you do the manager ID remove, you remove this column, so this data also removed from the file, correct? But in case of the Avro file, this manager ID def column is removed from schema, but still persists in data, still persists in the file. That is the big difference. Okay, so whenever what is there, like I do have my old schema and I want to read this data back, I need manager ID. I'm not interested in manager name. Suppose assume there are two customers. Okay, one is using your Avro file with this 5 column, which is the old schema. Employee name, ID, salary, and manager ID, and the new schema is created with the name, employee name, ID, salary, and manager name. Correct. So now this let's let me draw here. This customer has an old schema, and this customer has new schema with them. Okay, schema is always attached with the file, but that can also locally store. Because why they have to store the locally? Because their entire system is designed based on this old schema. They don't want to use the schema attached with this file. I'll store the schema in local file, locally, and this customer will C1 customer, and this is C2 customer. Okay, store it in own. So whenever the schema changes, all the system which it has created should not change anyway. Right. So what it should still be able to read the data from the file. So Avro files, what it says, I'll keep the data as it is, even you change the schema. Okay. So if you have written the data using the old schema and later on change it, I should be able to read it back using the old schema. Similarly, what new schema said, C2 said, I want to read the data. Again, I have new schema definition. So what data is still there, and there is a null introduced in this. So this new schema should also be able to read this file. So that is the key feature. Even you change the schema of the existing data, it should still be able to read using the old schema. You have removed the manager ID from the actual new schema, but data is still there. The file is contains the data. This schema is modified. So that's the way old schema can be read. Old schema should be able to read the data here. Okay, so data may not change. Still, there is no problem for reading and writing data with the changed schema or old unchanged schema. So that is the beauty. So based on this, you will be asked one question. Okay, so we will really do the hands-on, actually remove one column, add one column, and then this kind of hands-on we will do. Avro clearly handles schema changes like missing fields, newly added fields, change field, etc. You can change the data type of the column. Suppose manager name, it was initially it was char 10, and I can change it to the varchar 10. So similarly, this kind of changes is also possible in the Avro file. So Avro file, it's everything in the JSON, but here I'm just to understand better, I'm giving you the table as an example. Okay, so either because it's the same thing as such, the format is different. Okay, because of this, old program can read data based on new schema, or new program can read data based on the old schema. That is like, if you have written data using the old schema, then also new schema, based on using new schema, you can read this data. If you have written the data using the new schema, then also old schema can read the data. And if you have not changed the data at all and you have changed the schema, then also both the schema should be able to read the data. So that is the difference. So, okay, so this is the C programmer. Local copy of schema is stored here when it creates a generate an Avro file. I have written some C program which create the Avro file. Okay, don't worry, we are not going to learn C here. Okay, I'm just giving an example. C languages, we are not going to work on this. So this is the Avro file generated. So this is cxyz.avro file would be created and schema attached with this. Correct? So this file. And so this file is just an employee information this Avro file contains. Now Java programmer has read this file and use the schema whatever attached in this file. It don't have its own copy of the schema as of now. Read this file in the Java programming. What it says, I will change this schema because I need additional information other than employee information. I also want to add the salary information in this schema. What it does is actually pick up the schema, add the field, even change the data. Okay, even change the data. It adds the employee salary for each. So now new Avro file is created. Same Avro file would be like content change. So the Avro file name is changed, cxyz Avro, but this has employee name plus salary information. Right, so both the information in the single Avro file. Schema has changed. Now it is a new schema. Okay, so so when a C programmer tries to read this data using its local copy of schema, it says, I found an extra field salary. What should I do? Okay, in this case, I'm not interested in salary field, so ignore this salary field. I'll use my local schema. I will still be able to read this file using my old schema. I will ignore the salary part because this customer don't need a salary information. This customer needs salary information of the employee. That is the difference. So even that is the flow will show you how the one program can be writing using the old schema and another. So in summary, Apache Avro is a framework that allows you to serialize data in a format that has a schema built in. Schema is attached with that. So if I give you the Avro file, it is if you don't know the schema, you just read the metadata information from the Avro file, you'll get the schema information from this, and so the entire content in this. Like just assume it. I'm giving you a CSV file with the header, so that is fine, correct? I have the information of the which column name is what kind of thing, but not the actual, but this is basic information is there. So this is called schema. But if I give you CSV file without the header, so you don't know what to do with this CSV file, correct? So similarly, Avro file has the schema attached with that. It serializes the data in a compact binary format that does not require proxy objects or code generation. Instead of using generated proxy libraries and strong typing, Avro relies heavily on the schema that are sent along with the serialized data. Including schema with the Avro message allows any application to deserialize the data even you don't have the information. So you don't need, like if you are getting the data from the vendor and you are storing in your local system and vendor has not given any of the information but the file is Avro file, so you know like what for column is what, how to read this file. So this information is always attached with the same file. Avro schema deserialize the format of the message and are defined using the JavaScript JSON notation. We have not still see the file because I don't want to touch in just now the file directly. I want you to understand the concept behind this. Okay, so that is what all about the Avro file. Okay, so you can okay, so let me show you the how the Avro file schema look like. So just to give you the picture, so this is the Avro schema file definition for one of the user information is schema. So you just assume this is the header of the table. Okay, so the way is stored is differently. This is like I would say like in the JSON format, correct? This is the name of the column, username, type is string, and the default value of this column is null. Name of the column is age, the data type of the int, default value is -1. If I not provide that, so this kind of information is there in this. So we will discuss in depth about this in the next session of the Avro file. So these are the column name. Even you can have embedded column name. So one column could have multiple column inside that. That's the beauty. In the flat table that is not possible. That is only possible in the file system. So like these are the many field and one is the address. Address has a different column, correct? Straight, city, state, province, country, zip code, etc. So that is in the same file you have embedded column. So schema table inside the table, kind of just assumption. Okay, no, nothing like that exactly, and then data stored with that. So this information would be there in the metadata part and the actual data in the binary format. So that is the API is available to convert into the binary format, serialize, deserialize, etc. Okay, we don't have to do the really code generation, etc., which is being done in many languages other than Avro file. So that's all about the Avro file, and I would suggest please visit hadoopexam.com, HDOOPEXAM.com. We have been doing this work for Hadoop and big data world, analytics world, data science world since last 3 years. We have more than 15,000 subscribers who is using our products actually, and so we have as of now Hadoop professional training 40 modules created. So please visit the hadoopexam.com. We will always create low cost and very quality material. We try to give you the quality material. Okay, so these are the some of the various products. We have Apache Spark professional training. If you want to learn the Spark, that is, even if you are going to work in big data, it is mandatory to learn the Spark. HBase is NoSQL World, Hadoop professional training. We have Android certification material, Java certification material, and data science certification material from the EMC, SAS Analytics. For the cloud world, we have Amazon, Microsoft Azure, and for data science EMC, and many more things we do have. Please visit the hadoopexam.com. So just let me type hadoopexam.com. So you can just see this is our website. Okay, we have various products, so you just select the menu and you can get the products. So thanks for watching. I hope you like this session, and you can download the PDF from the description section of this video. Thanks for watching. I'm stopping now. And again, one more thing, sorry, please subscribe YouTube channel, because we are keep adding the modules in the YouTube channel as well, so you can get it a notification whenever we add the new module. So subscription is important for you. And if you want to get more product information, or whatever the update, we are continuously update our product. So once you subscribe it, you should be able to update your product, get the updated version of the product. Okay, so you just need to subscribe here. Just fill in this form, your name and email ID. Will just send you the updates on this. Okay, so you'll get the updates. So thanks for watching again, and please subscribe YouTube channel, our Facebook, LinkedIn, this subscription, so you will get the notification whenever we create a new product, or we update, or we announce or launch a new product. Thanks for watching.